everyone, welcome to Cooking with Bae. I'm your host, Lindsay, and I'm here with two very special guests. We are actually in Georgia, Bluffton, Georgia, at White Oak Pastures, and this is Jenni Harris from White Oak Pastures. As you guys may have seen Will Harris out there as well too. He appears on Joe Rogan, and you guys do just such a fabulous job of regenerative farming over here. And this is Luis. They're amazing chef. They have this adorable restaurant and shop here on in Bluffton that is just serves just such quality meals. I see everybody in there just like so happy, and they know what they're going to order because they're like, yes, that's amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah, so thought we would get some tips. Today we're going to keep it simple. How to cook the perfect 100% grass-fed ribeye. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we're going to keep it simple for you and make this taste amazing. So let's get started. All right, very simple. Ribeyes. Look at how gorgeous this is. Luis, do you want to tell them about how it's your favorite or customer's favorite actually to order? Go ahead, and I'll bring this up and show the people what this looks like.
Like this is one of our favorite cuts here on the farm because like it is grass fed, but as you can see, it still have a nice, beautiful marble in it and a nice, good fat to meat ratio. So on the weekends when we do our little steakhouse menu, trust me, this right here is a top seller, no doubt about it.
It's what I always want.
Yeah.
It's so dark and gorgeous, but do you think, I mean, not because it's ribeye, but maybe because there's somebody special cooking it behind the scenes, huh? So what are we doing first?
Well, we're going to heat this pan up so we can go and throw this tallow in there and get these ribeyes seared up.
Okay, let's go do it. All right, Jenni, what are we doing over here?
So this is our rendered fat. So we like to cook our steaks in tallow. So we created a tallow, be thy name, tallow butter. And it is just rendered beef fat that we set up in a mold, a butter mold. And instead of using maybe seed oils or cooking spray, we like to cook everything in fat.
That's right. I like to cook everything in fat. All right, so tell us about this. What did we do? We put it on low? Is that what happened with this
Well,
pan?
we set it, we put the pan on late, so we got it a little heated up to where you want it to like smoke a little bit right there, but don't burn down your house now.
All right.
But, so,
I know. Burn down one of these Airbnbs over here.
Right. So we got a little bit of
Here, I got you this shaker.
Salt.
Yeah, and this one of our good partners right here, Redmond Salt. Side first, this top side that we're gonna put down, we're gonna leave our presentation side unsalted for a second.
Oh, the presentation side. Okay, let's go follow. Yeah. Here we go. Let's hear that sizzle.
Right.
All right.
So we're gonna let that cook for a couple of minutes and let it absorb some of the tallow and open up a little bit.
Okay.
Then we'll hit the top with the salt right before we flip it.
Oh, cool. Why is it, does the meat shrink or something?
No, I'm gonna tell you, I like the taste of the actual meat. I know like most meat connoisseurs, when they get their steak, they they want to actually taste the meat. So I'm just not like salting it too much or putting too much flavor on it. Let the natural, use the salt to let the natural flavor of the meat come out.
I like that too. That's why I don't use much seasoning. We're letting this sear on one side for a few minutes. So can you tell us the difference, because you've been a chef and a cook, and you've cooked corn-fed beef. What are some of the little differences and maybe tips that we can give people at home how to, what's the difference in preparation for a grass?
Well, like we were just talking earlier with Jenni about it, like some of us like to, I forgot the word she used, but I know like some of us like aged meat, and like with the grass-fed beef, I would rather at least age it for 14 to 30 days before I actually like cook it. But that's me. But a lot of folks like to use our grass-fed beef because it's so fresh.
Right.
To eat it up for.
Just a fresh. And so the reason is because if you do let the meat age, right, those who do have histamine reactions might react to the aged, but they like it more aged because the bacteria really starts to tenderize and break down the meat a little bit more. So some of you may like a more, tender steak, but I like it both ways, honestly. It's like, it depends on kind of what I'm feeling, what I want, because I really like a, good fresh grass-fed ribeye too. And then I
Exactly.
also enjoy it aged too. And we're talking to Jenny over here too. She better not be hiding, but here she is.
Right.
And you know, like my dad loves sirloin. He always wants something with more chew. He wants it to be, you know, a bit more tough, a bit more chewier.
Yep.
But then you have others who prefer like a fillet and
Right.
you know the most tender meat, you know, on the animal.
Yeah.
So it's really about preference. But you know, for us, we have some customers that really love you know, the fresh part of what we do. So we butcher it and immediately freeze it. But then if some, like me, I love to age my steaks because I want it to be a little bit more tender.
Yeah. Okay, so here we got, so how many minutes did you have on the first side?
3 minutes on the first side.
3 minutes on the first side.
Yes, ma'am.
Look how beautiful this steak is. My goodness. Yes, 3 minutes on the first side, and then you turned it over. And then, Luis, how many minutes on the second side?
The same if you wanted to just like a perfect medium with our steaks.
So
As you can see, like, and once it starts to bleed a little bit on the top, it's probably medium. You can pull it.
So when it bleeds on, I didn't know that.
Learn.
Okay, so when it starts to bleed on top through the fat?
Yeah, on the fat or the meat, like it's starting to come through if it's still on the heat.
Yep.
And that's when I usually pull it off and let it
didn't know
rest, and it'll be a perfect medium.
And that's a
Yeah, that's-
perfect medium.
Yes.
Oh, what a great tip.
I would say best served aged, but
Best served aged.
yeah,
But this is, you know, this wasn't aged, and so
Right.
we just kind of threw it in the tallow, and this is still going to give you a fabulous tasting ribeye, isn't
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right?
yes, ma'am.
We have the perfect grass-fed ribeye steak cooked. So walk us through these tips again. You got to get the pan hot enough, and then what?
The pan's super hot, and then you put your tallow in.
How much tallow?
For one steak, I would say probably about like a half a teaspoon.
Okay,
Like it'll melt down pretty good.
great. And then the pan hot enough to where it smokes.
Yep.
Okay, then you slap that puppy on for a couple minutes. How many minutes approximately?
Depends on whatever your preference of the temp is.
All right.
1 minute, 2 minutes, all the way to well done. But I
Right.
would say for me, 3 minutes on one side.
Yep. Okay, 3 minutes on one side and
Yes,
about a
ma'am.
minute on the other side, and you
Yep.
get this perfect, delicious steak. It bleeds through the fat when you know it's about medium. So, is there a tip to slicing it, or shall we just
We gotta let
go
it
into
rest.
Yeah, we let it rest. So it's been resting. We gotta let it rest though
Yeah.
for at least a minute or so.
Okay.
But like some people just ready to dive in. I'm ready to dive into that.
Okay,
Me
good.
too. Let's do it.
I'm already calling dibs on this. This is my favorite part. I'm gonna touch all over it so y'all can't get any.
You know that doesn't bother me. Touch your hands anywhere.
We're gonna cut down right
So this is
All right,
called the
let's see.
spinalis, and this is the most delicious part
What
to
does
me.
this look like here? Let's see the inside. Ooh, I touched it too. Wow, that is the perfect medium. All right. So are we digging in?
Yes.
All right, I'm coming over. Shoot, they're all trying it without me. Hold on, let me go. Here we go. Let's try this. All right, I have yet to have some of Luis's creations. Which one? This piece?
Yeah, you like the
this
fat.
piece.
It's the best part.
Of course I do. So does my community. Love the fat.
I heard that.
Yep. Let's see.
That's great.
That's good.
I haven't had a ribeye in a while, and this is a treat.
It's a treat. It's a treat for me, and I have them all the time. Thanks to Louis. Every day's a treat.
Wow, this is great. I'm gonna put-
With the salt, like I ain't put too much of seasoning on there or nothing, and you can just get that good flavor from the meat. Like it's good.
Wow, you guys. And literally, it probably took us how long?
Maybe 7 minutes tops.
Dinner in 7 minutes as a mother of two is a very marketable thing.
So tell us, Jenny, being a mother of two, right? There's a lot of comments I get about what is the best, you know, not only budget friendly, but also like just convenience, how to cook things really fast. So, I mean, this ribeye I cooked in like 7 minutes, like we just said. So, do you throw ribeyes on for your kiddos, or what do you do?
So ribeyes are an expensive habit.
give you some.
You know, I think probably shoes and
Yeah.
you know music and whatever else are cheaper habits to have. ribeyes are something we certainly don't have very often, but when we do, it is always the easiest thing.
Oh, interesting.
For us, we eat a lot of ground beef in our house. So, burgers, sliders, tacos. Ground beef is probably what I like to call the gateway drug into eating more grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
So we primarily eat ground beef.
Do you guys cook it every night fresh, or do you kind of like, cook some in batches and then have leftovers?
We're leftovers people.
Yeah.
You either are or you aren't,
Yeah.
and we are leftovers people. So we're eating day 2 of a pot of spaghetti
Yep.
right now at my house.
Wow.
So-
Yeah. No, I'm a leftover person too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What would you say, Luis, yourself too, as someone at home, how to preparation? Like if somebody had a family, what is maybe a good tip that you would give a family to prepare their meals in order of like convenience and maybe even budget friendly?
Just see what everybody like and kind of plan it out through the week. That's
Yeah.
what we kind of do in my household. We kind of just plan everything out during the week to keep it budget that way.
Right.
Yeah, so from the farm though, like I like personally the ground lamb,
Oh.
in which we can't do the ground lamb every day,
Yeah.
So like we just kind of budget it during the week and see when we can work it in there.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you can't get around preparation or preparing ahead of time. It's not, some of those like convenient things. Ooh, fast food, let's drive to there.
Right.
That's just like it's an option. So, I think when we're talking about grass-fed, grass-finished beef, you're already making that, that intentional choice to prioritize this sort of food. So the best you can do is, ground beef, I think is, super economical. Even grass-fed ground beef for sure. And then you can kind of plan that, make burgers ahead of time or whatever, have leftovers throughout the week or ground lamb. And then, if you guys wanted to give your, kids something special, get some ribeyes. They take like a couple minutes, not even, no more than 10 minutes really.
Right.
And then you get yourself a yummy, delicious meal that's different than, like kind of a ground beef or anything.
Well, and one thing we do is, it's rarely about what we want, but it's what I'm willing to cook. It ultimately boils down to, the person who's in charge of fixing the meals, what do they feel like dealing with?
Sure.
So for us, we put a lot of meat in our refrigerator, from the freezer to the refrigerator
Yes.
every Sunday.
Right.
And then there's the pressure throughout the week of, let's not eat out because we have something there that we can quickly put together.
Right.
If it's, and you want to use it.
Right.
When you start thinking through like, oh, it's been in there for, 5 days. It probably doesn't need to be in there much longer.
Right.
You pretty much set the pace of how your week's going to go by, thawing out what you have available.
Right.
And so the pressure then is less about, oh, what am I going to eat for supper? It's, okay, I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. So what am I going to do with the 2 pounds of ground beef?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Exactly. No, that's what I say too. It's like when I think of convenience and drive-throughs, I'm like, yep, just drive through your refrigerator, take it out, put it in the refrigerator.
That's right.
That's part of the battle, is just like thinking about that and putting it out there so that you know that, you need to cook that. So awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool.
You got it.
Thanks everyone for joining us, me, Jenny, and also Luis. Thank you so much for being here and showing us these quick, simple tips for how to cook the perfect 100% grass-fed ribeye. This is the cooked version. We obviously already chowed down on that one. And then this is the beautiful raw version. So if you guys have any questions, you want to ask Luis or Jenny, even just about White Oak Pastures, about how to cook ribeyes, or even just grass-fed meat in general, comment down below, hit the subscribe and notification bell. Thanks for joining Cooking with Bae. I'm your host, Lindsay. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Great.
I tried it.